All right, you might be wondering why everyone's frozen right now. Well, that's because if you watched last episode, you know that we split this into 2 parts. This is part 2, which we'll be labeling episode 23. We go on some serious tangents in this one. It's I'm going to be surprised if you guys think it's watchable, but we wanted to make sure you had everything from it. So enjoy episode 23. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Until then, take care. Okay. Well, if this were long enough, and it might be given our current state, this would be where I'd cut the second episode to talk about other news. So let's go on ahead and switch over to that real quick. Starting with...
Wait, are we doing a second episode?
Remember I said at the start of this episode that hopefully we go long enough that I can split into 2 episodes?
Yeah, but the second episode's just gonna be news?
Whatever, dude. Just keep going. Keep talking.
I put them in one, like you'd have one on Monday and one on Friday, so they'd be in the same week.
Okay, don't you think news is boring?
Well, let's find out. Let's find out.
Yeah. I have a lot to talk about the news.
Let's find out. So, I'm going to ask Scrap.
This is
first
good,
off,
actually.
Have you heard about this? Have you heard about the...
I have heard about this.
Okay, so first let's start with the exploit. Did you understand? Who understood the exploit? Who wants to explain it real quick?
I don't understand exploit. I just heard about
my understanding of it is that people were multi-boxing while leveling, right? Because they need to have multiple characters of all, just in case. And if you were to go into Ashkahet and select, because, you know, Warbound is Battle.net account, not just the single account. So if you were to go in ahead and have one of your accounts choose, let's say the, I can't remember the 3 of the factions, but you know what the 3 factions of Ashkahet are?
General.
Yeah, the general, the weaver, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say the general.
Every time they turned in the quest, your warband would get all 3 credits. And this allowed
each character could do it.
Yeah, and this allowed essentially for everyone to push up to rank 25 immediately. Mm-hmm. Okay. For the 2 weeks that this has been happening, because it's not only been talked about, and you know, like I'm sure anyone that's paying attention would have known about it because you could hear about it on Twitter and you even heard about it on the podcasts. But some of the Race to World First streamers even streamed them doing it, right? Because of this idea that there was like an arrogance that, well, Blizzard keeps saying they're going to ban us for this stuff and they never do. Okay. So then this conversation came up of, well, like if Blizzard doesn't ban people, of course people are going to like continue to do this. So this is on Blizzard and it's their fault. Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think it was Monday evening. Yeah, Monday afternoon. Blizzard banned anyone that had done this. And on stream, you could see people who were in the Race to World First, I think mostly Echo players. And forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. I'm not trying to start a rift between Echo.
Method 2.
Right? Yeah, Method 2. And I think there was a couple in Liquid. Again, not trying to pick sides here. But point is that on stream, you could see them disconnected and seeing that they're banned for 4 days. It not only is disrupted to... Okay, so like the first week of Race to World First is just all splits. Very boring, but it's very critical to their success when Mythic actually launches next week. So that's the story. All right? Mm-hmm. What are the initial thoughts from 3 of you? Technique, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, man, I actually, it's weird because I was working a lot last 2 days. I had really long days at work, so I didn't really get to read and get into the content. But I saw that come up in my feed, you know, from the watchers that be controlling all of us. It came in my feed, and I was super interested because what's her name? Nagura, maybe, you know, the cute.
Maggie.
Yeah, she made a post and was like, "Oh my god, the band, blah blah blah," and then the next one was like, "Oh my god, the band fucks the race, blah blah blah." You know, that's all I know. But yeah, I was super interested.
Fucks the race, okay.
Yeah, I think because, like you mentioned, I think they're going to be banned long enough that it interferes with the beginning of the Race to World First or whatever the fuck. I don't watch.
Definitely going to interfere with their gearing.
It pushed back their splits to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, splits. I do those.
Right, of course.
Is that the punchline? I don't.
That's the punchline. Can we get a rim shot?
The eye roll. The eye roll was the punchline.
Okay, so do you care? Do you think it's enough? Do you like, or are you just? Like,
I mean, fuck them, dude. They were cheating. Fuck them.
Okay, Shawnee.
Yeah, I'm super okay with them getting banned. Like every time people get banned for like finding an exploit and then exploiting it in the contract they signed, especially when they're like for lack of a better term, professionals.
Yeah.
Like they get paid to do this, and they're like, I'm okay to risk my job to not technically cheat, but cheat. It's for me, it's no different than when I don't get it. I think it's dumb. You risk a lot by doing it, and you hurt more than just yourself if you're hurting your team. So I'm okay with them getting banned, 100%. I would be like, you're out of the race. I'd love to see them. I would love to see them get banned longer, honestly, so that when like
kind of
this stuff,
like 6 days would have been probably better.
I could care less. I'd be like, yeah, longer the better, so that when like something like this comes up again, they don't do it. But yeah, overall, I don't care. But yeah, ban them hard.
I think point there is it's not like they didn't know what they were doing. You know, it's not like it was an accident, and they fucked around and they found out.
I've got questions. Like, how? So they get to the highest tier of renown, right?
Yeah.
How is it helping them? They can get
Valor crests and stuff like that.
There are lots of rewards when you get your shit up, your renown up.
Enough that you can significantly get ahead.
Yeah,
you get your. That's the only way to get next level.
The word that's
I want to say something.
Shawnee.
It's enough that because you had a 10% rep buff as a human race, they took it out of the game and gave to Hearthstone. So because they're like, it'll affect the race to world first.
Yeah.
This here was like 10 times the amount of buff that would have been. So and you can get a lot of crafts. You get like 3 pieces of gear from it.
The gear rewards were insane for people.
Cheat.
The word is degeneracy, right?
I know. I was fuzzy on this the last time we talked about this cheating thing because it seems like Blizzard's contract is really open ended. They're like, okay, you can't do
that. I'll agree
we
with.
talked about this in Pandaria,
they're
right?
Like, they're like, don't cheat, but we get to tell you what that means.
No. Okay, to be clear. Every single one of these Race to World First guilds have a direct contact at Blizzard to ask, can we or can we not do this?
And did they not ask?
But hold on, okay, this is very like this is very like if you go back to your childhood, dude. You know when you were fucking up. Even if your mom didn't specifically say like, hey, don't put thumbtacks at the bottom of the stairs to stab your sister in the foot when she comes down the stairs barefoot. If she didn't specifically say that, but you're like in your head, you're like, ugh.
I understand the sentiment, but
it's fucked up. You know, like you don't have to fucking call out very specifically what the rules are. You can say, don't be an asshole. And then when you're an asshole, you get banned.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I love seeing people on lines that goes, oh, I didn't know I was doing it wrong, and then they get banned. Like
come the fuck on, bro. Those assholes, you know they're going to do it again too. That's the problem.
I understand, and I do think it's degenerate, but I also think it's like Blizzard should fix their broken game. You know, like
that's really easy to say in hindsight too, though. When you're like, oh, there's a problem, let's fix it. It's like, oh, we released a problem, we got to fix it now. That's different.
Are they allowed to put the game on pause and say, everyone wait until we fix this?
I feel like they, instead of banning them, they should have just knocked their renown back to 0.
They will do that too.
Oh fuck, dude.
So the same thing happened. The same thing happened with the Brann exploit, right? People were able to level Brann to level 60.
Man, it's hilarious. You guys all come to me like Roar too. He's always like, "Oh, this new exploit. Who's? Where do they get this from? Is he like a black net?
No. So okay, so this is what I heard. This is what I heard on the Podyssey. Is that every time a Race to World First happens, every time a beta and a PTR happen, they have, let's say a handful of people who are employees of the organization who will literally scour every single thing they can to find the fastest and again degenerate way to get somewhere, right? And so
they should hire an auditor and put them in liquid and method, and when they see something, they have to say something.
Well, that's what beta's for. They get beta access to those assholes so they can go and break the game for them so they can fix it.
Well, that's the problem.
Exactly
no one reports it. No one reports it, right?
They
so
don't.
Squishy said it himself.
Be GMing it.
Squishy said it himself. What? Watching every player? What?
Yes, have surveillance.
They should have an alarm that goes off if anybody hits renown 25.
I'm talking about
here's the thing.
Shit that's abnormal to what they've already tested. Yes, absolutely.
No, but here's the thing.
A flag that says, "Hey, alarm." Weird shit happening.
Here's the thing. I find it offensive how easy you think it is to develop a game like this, right?
No, I don't think.
I find it offensive when people say like, "Hey, I can't. That can't be done." I find that offensive. Can't do it.
Anyways, The thing is that they purposely don't say anything to anyone, right? They don't tell anyone outside the guild because this is the one thing that can give them an edge in the race, right? And then of course it slowly starts tumbling out, right? To the point where Squishy on the bench said, like, he knew, okay, so there was a bug on the beta, right? Where at 12 plus, it was the damages get that second fortified and tyrannical buff where they do 20% more damage on top of the other fortified and tyrannical. Well, apparently, when they set that in, it was only increasing the health of the mobs. It wasn't increasing their damage by 20%. And they only discovered it when they went to do a tuning pass 1 week before launch.
Not a single person reported it?
Not a single person
You know what I think
it.
about that, bro?
Squishy knew about it, and he said, oh, well, I assume someone else reported it, and they never reported it. Right? And that's something that they knew was a problem.
Well, hold on. They're relying on their players to play test their game. They should have employees play testing the game.
Why?
So
players do it. Players pay you to do it, and employees you got to pay to do it. Why?
Yeah,
why would you?
I was gonna say they're not paying beta tests. They're not paying.
That's exactly what a beta test is.
Scrap.
No, sorry. They should have beta tests.
And people would literally pay for beta access, like we did for early access.
People they're not paying to.
You call it early access. It's a beta.
Go on, Frank.
It is so naive to think that that's how bugs work, right? Like,
okay.
It's first off, there are people who will find this because they look in places that Blizzard employees won't know to look because they're degenerates, right? Now you could argue they should hire the degenerates, right?
Today, Frank.
But
they should.
The thing is that that's why they're bugs. Because if they knew that was a problem, they would have never let the bug come out in the first place, right?
In my opinion, Frank, if they're not on the payroll, they have no obligation to report any bugs at all.
Oh, I'm not mad at the players. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not.
You call them degenerates.
No, because they call themselves degenerates.
Okay.
Frank, so the builders, the programmers themselves are players of the game. Like, we can't ignore that. Obviously, they've play tested the game inside. Okay. Yeah. They found a bunch of problems. I'm sure they found and fixed.
That's how they got to beta. Yeah, they got to beta through cleaning up the alpha.
Is it not? Do you think it would be difficult to employ like an AI that says, "Hey, here's the norm from all this data we've collected by playing it ourselves," and then when the beta releases, this public release, like, shouldn't the AI be like, "Oh, there's an anomaly. This strange class is doing a fuck ton more damage than normal," or
you think that they can build an AI algorithm? When they can't even build a game that does a 20% buff correctly?
Build an AI algorithm, yes.
Yeah, I get the AI.
Again, I will end this point. I will end this point on naivety. I think it's severely naive to think that they can build
Frank.
To build AI to code test for them like that. Because they do have AI. They do have AI to do testing.
It's not going to fix it. It's going to say, oh, there's an anomaly in the damage that we saw in our playtesting versus the after beta release.
No, because remember they changed Mythic Plus. They changed Mythic Plus in beta. It wasn't in alpha.
2 million damage because
it wasn't in alpha.
What was it? The B-Wax from a quest. It was
next?
It was B-Wax from a quest from a monk ability that like exploded damage, and it was uncapped. That I think people were doing in beta, and it could have been captured by a AI bot.
Well, yeah, that's not the case.
He's going crazy.
Anyways, what I was going to ask though is, so Shawnee, God damn it, I had a point. I can't remember it.
Where's the spreadsheet? Where's the spreadsheet?
No, it's not on the spreadsheet. I write down things when I'm talking to y'all because you guys, again, I don't want to interrupt you all the fucking time.
Because we get
I
derailed.
need a piece of paper. I could do that. I have this nice pad.
Okay. So, what the fuck was I gonna? I had a really good point.
What's your?
I'm trying to go back because I remember there was a point where I was gonna say because Shawnee was talking about the 4 days not being long enough, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, I remember. Okay, so there's two things that matter about these bans. The first is if you've ever watched Pirate Software on Twitch, which is Thor, right? You guys know who I'm talking about when I say.
Long black hair, really deep, like emo voice.
His dad was the
always talks about
guy
his dad was a big shot. He's not quite.
Yeah. Anyway, the only person I watch
looks a little bit like Scrapclaw.
I will say the only person I watch on Twitch is you.
Okay. Anyways, Thor used to be one of the security, I'm going to say security. He used to be the guy that would catch bans for Blizzard, right? And he pointed out that if you're ever caught for a ban like this, right, big or small, you're forever on a list, right? And that's a list I don't think that's worth for a raid for world first. Yeah, no fly list, right? They will constantly monitor your account for other exploits, right? So that already is like oh shit. But now granted, these are race to world first players. They probably maybe already are on that list. I don't know. But the second thing that I wanted to point out, which I'm gonna ask if you think is fair. If you're ever banned for, I think it's more than 2 days, you cannot participate in the MDI or the Great Push or an arena contest. I want to say for 6 months.
Sure.
Which means that they're not eligible to play in the MDI and Great Push, and that there's money attached to that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think just like hiring somebody, that's a judge of your character.
Okay.
And
I
you
have no
put that
problem with
now in the public space, so now it's like posting some degenerate shit on fucking Twitch, or Twitter, or YouTube. Like, yeah, I could not hire you over that. I don't
know. Okay.
Yeah. I'm more like I would 100% I know it's not good for the company, so you can't do it, but I would want to be like, if someone's like, yeah, I saw this bug, I didn't say anything, I hoped it go live so I could use it to
they would never admit to that,
things.
but yeah.
Well, but he did. He's like, I saw that in +12s this wasn't working right. He never told the whole time. He just said squishy guy.
No,
You're like,
but he didn't do it. He didn't do it because he was being malicious. He did it because he was being lazy. He thought, someone else will definitely submit that bug.
You can always say you're being lazy.
Yeah,
Squishy's not a race to world first or MDI type. He's just a guy that writes for Wowhead. He's a very knowledgeable person.
Sure.
Right.
And I'm sure he plays well. I'm not diminishing.
And even that in itself, if I'm like, if you get beta before other people, which I assume someone writes for Wowhead would, and you're like, I'm not gonna assist in this thing that I'm technically getting because we work together in some way, shape, or form, I'd be like, you're never gonna see an alpha key again, bro. Like same with Race the World First. Like all these people that are like, we're on purpose hiring people to work for our team to find bugs that we can use to exploit the game. I'd be like, none of you get a key because the whole point of beta is for them to help make the game
rather
better.
than feeding it back to Blizzard and saying, hey, fix this, they fed it to their fucking buddies and said, hey, go excel in the world first.
Hold on.
That's exactly what.
But I want to be clear.
If that was determined to be the intention, I think that the punishment is a good answer to that.
It sounds like Shawnee wants to punish people for not
reporting bugs
in beta, which is just
not just beta.
No, beta. This came out in beta. It was never in alpha.
Okay.
How do you punish somebody for not doing something?
I will
voluntarily
100%,
not doing something, right?
Yeah, and if I'm giving something to someone early, and like this exploit
you're
that
not
they were
giving
using,
it to them. They paid for it. You didn't.
Well, you have to also consider that this person isn't just contracted to their.
I want to clarify.
Contracted to whatever other agreements they have with
slow down.
Shut up, technically. Wait a second.
So, this change came out on beta only. It was never on alpha. Remember, they changed the Mythic Plus system late into beta because everyone was complaining about it, right? Squishy. I'm saying
this bug here. Let's talk about the bug we were talking about.
This bug, we don't know when it came in. We don't know if it was in alpha. We don't know if it was in beta. We don't know if it was introduced.
Sure. And did you not say earlier that they employ people, these teams employ people to hunt around and be degenerates and find bugs?
Yes.
And are they given early access over other people?
Streamers are not Race the World First people.
Hold on, Shawnee's lawyer mode right now.
People don't get it ahead of time?
What?
Do you think Race the World First people who are also streamers don't get it above other people?
If they're a streamer, yes, they do. Like Max did. He's a streamer and he's a Race to World First player. Yes, it is obviously. But they're not giving it out because they want playtesting. They're giving out because they want advertisement.
Right, and they also want them to playtest. Right?
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment.
Right. So then they've in essence said, we want you to help playtest this game, and for being able to playtest it, we want to get some feedback because you're going to use it to stream, right? They want to advertise.
Say that?
I'm not saying it says that. I'm saying there's some kind of mutual understanding between the two that, it's supposed to be mutually beneficial. And I've never agreed with people being like, if they go in and they don't report bugs that are going to help them later, I think it's just a shitty person. I don't agree with that. If I found out someone did that, I'd be like, you'll never see another key again.
I think we agree with you on that. I want to be clear. But like,
Yeah.
there's a difference between what happened with this, which was an exploit, right? Excuse me, versus what happened with the Mythic Plus thing, which was a bug, right?
Yeah, that's what this that happened where they're able to get 25 renown was not a bug. It was an exploit.
Well,
like it was working as intended.
Yes, exactly.
They didn't realize that it was working as intended, but they didn't realize it could be exploited as intended.
Yes,
It's not a bug.
Yeah.
So it's different.
An unintended consequence.
Unintended,
sure.
yeah.
However you want to say it, but
okay. So at that point,
well, it's very different from a bug. Like it's not a.
I don't.
Yeah.
All
So
I'm
at
saying,
that point-
someone found something that was not working as intended, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever word you want to use.
And I think there's evidence somewhere, probably in someone's Discord or someone's chat or something, that says, "Hey, I found this."
Yeah, but Blizzard
really
wouldn't be able to
weird
have access to that
thing that now we can go. Let's go do this to exploit it, and that proof there.
But Blizzard wouldn't have access to that.
No,
Either way,
they allowed to subpoena Discord.
Bobby Kotick and his whole family of people like him couldn't
subpoena Discord.
form a group of.
Yes, I'm saying that. There's no way Discord would give that information away like that for free.
Right. You mean Microsoft meant to buy Discord and doesn't have any ties to them?
Anyway,
no, they don't. They didn't. They failed
so much.
This is an extra.
Yeah, we're extra sorry.
Right.
Now we're just arguing. I want to argue.
I think missing a race and stuff is totally fair. 100%.
I do agree with you, Shani. It was a little. I wish it was a little more dramatic, a little more chaotic,
just a little bit more. I mean, I like this because it's tea, but I there's a part of me that feels like it's unfair because this went live as intended. They didn't realize it could be exploited. Nobody warned them. Hey, stop that. They just got banned.
Even though they have
Are you sure they didn't get a warning? Are you sure they didn't get proof that it was on purpose cheating? That's what I'm getting at.
I think they would have stopped if they got a warning.
Guild and said, "Hey, this is what I found. Here's a cheat. Let's do it."
It's
in your guild, and now they clearly have access to that.
If I was the arbiter of Blizzard jail, I guess, like, I think it would be more fair to say, "Hey, we didn't intend for you to do that. We're gonna take away all that renown you got. Sorry, you're just gonna have to eat the cost. I know it probably took a long time, but no more renown, whatever." I don't know if I would punish them because it's like, again, World First encourages people to like look for shit like this, just by the nature of it. And if there are things that have made it through alpha, through beta, through all their playtesting and stuff, and are still able to be exploited, like obviously, I feel like if it was a bug, I would be more like iffy if there was just like a bug that just let you get 25 renown automatically. Okay, obviously that would be cheating, but they were playing the game as intended. They just didn't realize it'd be exploited by people having way too much fucking time on their hands, I guess. That I think that deserves more of a slap on the wrist than a throw them in jail. That's just my opinion.
I think I agree with you up until you said that that they didn't realize, because they did. They knew it wasn't right, and then they went and did it, and also a lot of these people are being paid directly or indirectly by Blizzard to do these things. It's not like we're just saying, "Oh, you found it, great, tell us." It's no, we're financing you.
It's a very weird relationship for them to say like we're financing you, and also like don't do the thing we're paying you to do, which is to like play it.
What do you think? They're not getting paid.
No,
also,
I mean, but
they are paying them. Blizzard is not paying them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blizzard just gave them a free thing for advertising, and they make money off Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes, but that I'm sure there's an agreement somewhere in that relationship.
There's a non-disclosure. There's a non-disclosure to say, and again, they just have to wait till a certain date, and then they can stream whatever they want.
So when that person goes and shares the information that they non-disclosed, said, "Hey, I'd keep private," to their entire group, because the streamer shared it with their entire.
He's dramatizing everything.
The non-disclosure ends the second alpha starts.
Yeah.
The non-disclosure ends.
Right. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
I'm okay with the ban. Whatever.
Yeah. I think
same. That's my answer.
Like I said, I like the drama.
I think the ban is fair. I love the drama. I think the ban is fine. It's not like, oh, you're losing 2 weeks or something. You're losing 4 days. Well, it's not huge, but I would just take the renown away.
To dig a little deeper, we can relate it to. We can relate it back to like Blizzard's choice to silence and ban the Chinese guy, or not Chinese guy. I'm sorry, the guy that.
Oh no! Here we go.
Made his political statements, right? Hong Kong. Yeah. Excuse me. So it's a very
wait. Hold on.
Argument.
It's completely fucking different thing.
Hold on. No, one, he signed a contract, right?
Yeah,
So did everyone say they wait?
2.
They all signed contracts about not using exploits too.
Right.
Yeah,
a social contract. Yes.
Again, exploit is a lot
No
more
one's saying they shouldn't
wishy-washy.
get banned, Shawnee. Just to be clear, no one's saying.
No,
that.
I'm just saying.
said that.
Yeah, I'm just saying like.
Their contract said that if you do this, you'll get banned 4 days. They got it. No one's upset about that. But yeah, okay, we're not going Blitzchung. I agree that obviously.
Let's not go
free Hong Kong, but
free Hong Kong.
Well, can I make my statement clear?
Sure.
Because I feel like a lot of the viewership is gonna be like, "Wow, you're Trump
I don't want.
Yeah. So I think it's important to realize that these people, the players, are being paid by Blizzard to compete and being paid by Blizzard to win. And so when they take that
no
stage,
one's being paid by Blizzard to compete.
This is like the debate.
I'm talking about the other scenario.
Blitzchung. Okay, you're talking about Blitzchung.
I'm talking about the Blitzchung thing. Okay, the comments about Taiwan and Chinese.
Hong Kong.
Whatever the fuck ever, man. I feel like it's important to understand, while everyone here, I think, supports free speech and the right, I think that when you're being paid to be on a stage, you don't take that opportunity to associate your beliefs with the party of people that are hosting you, which is Blizzard. And if Blizzard says, hey, we don't stand behind that, and then someone else is saying, well, I'm here and I stand behind this, that's not what we're paying you to do, bro. And this isn't the place to make that statement. While I support the statement, it's not a matter of doing that on our stage.
I don't want to talk about 4-year-old drama.
But what is the relevance?
What is the relevance?
It's a similar argument. You know, we don't know what the agreements between these players.
You are arguing that they have an NDA where they can't talk to their guild. That's not the NDA.
Anyway,
when I got invited to the beta, it clearly stated I couldn't share shit with anyone about it.
That's not true. I was streaming day 1 of the beta.
I'm not talking. I mean, I don't know what their specific beta rights were. You know, anyway, whatever the fuck, man.
Anyways,
Tanique's already on the no-fly list. That's why he had an extra contract screen.
I haven't flown in so long, man.
They're
let's move on.
Shit about it.
This is definitely going to be a 2-parter episode. Let's move on.
That was a lot more contentious than I thought it would be.
About drama.
Oh, thank God, more drama.
There was a hot fix added fairly quietly at first by Blizzard to punish those who leave heroic dungeons. No matter what point they leave, because in the past, I think if you killed the first boss and you left, it was okay.
Uh-huh.
The reason this came about is because the first boss in Arakara, Arakara drops a
really
trinket. It drops a trinket everyone wants. And what was happening is everyone was leaving. Literally, 3 out of the 5 people were leaving after the first boss.
I suppose a good trinket. I can't even see it.
They should only make. It's called the Sack Brood. They should only make the trinkets drop off last bosses. That's how I would fix that.
Hold on.
Yeah, I have the trinket, but effectively, I'm not seeing. It's really difficult to see that it's doing well, man. The damage directly that it does isn't great. Go ahead.
So
Frank.
there was a surprising amount of, and I know you can barely see it on the stream, but you guys can see it on your screens. But there was a surprising amount of back and forth between people on, it's not a big deal to leave dungeons, right? It's not a big deal to leave versus it is a huge deal to leave. For example, Max, who is the Race the World First, he's probably never ever experienced anything like this because he never has to pug.
No, he's
and I really don't have a dog in this fight, man, because I've never.
But you can see the example here of it's like the shopping cart.
It is like the shopping cart.
You are a piece of shit if you leave your shopping cart for someone else to clean up after, right? And
within reason.
Now,
right.
I don't want to spend too much time on this because I have another part I want to talk about.
I like it.
But the idea is that just, you're slowing people down, even if it's for a second, right? Even if it's the tank left and I have to wait 13 seconds for a new one to get in here.
Minutes.
It's making people irate that they're, causing me to have that kind of loss of time, which I can understand. And I actually agree with, right? Just finish it, right? But on the other side of the argument, it's fair to say, well, Blizzard's system works quickly enough that you are very rarely ever slowed down by this.
You know what they should do, bro? When all 5 of those players immediately slap Q for the next time, they should all go back to the same group. All of them.
They do.
If you left, we're gonna make you finish the dungeon, bro. You want to Q again? Not till your boys are back. We're doing this. We're done.
That'd be funny. I'm kind of down with that.
Oh god. Yeah, so I don't really want to dive too much because like I can see both sides of the argument, and I stand on the idea like punish them for leaving, because if they're that selfish, right? Then like someone
Do a
else.
follower dungeon.
No, heroics don't have
So you
follower
can't get
dungeons.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if they're that selfish, go play by yourself or go play with people in a group. That 100%. Like,
reset it with you, yeah.
Frank, what is the punishment they get?
It should be
30
a vote.
minutes.
It should be a vote.
30 minutes of not being
30
able to
minutes
queue.
of what? 30 minutes not be able to queue?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
Just
it has to
like
like that with
PvP.
Battlegrounds.
30 minutes of playtime, not just go take a shit for 30 minutes and come back and play again.
No. Yeah, you're
30
log
minutes
out.
of
No, not playtime.
No, fuck that, dude. I agree.
He
I
says
disagree
you
with you there.
have to be moving your
No,
character for 30
are you
minutes.
saying that is what it is, or are you saying that's what you want?
Because if this is my last
He
game of
wants
the
it to
day and
be
I gotta go to
playtime.
bed,
I swear to God,
I
he
don't get
can't
my item.
communicate.
Hold on, Frank. Here's the thing: if it's midnight, bro, and I'm tired and I queue up because I got 10 minutes but not 40, and I don't get the item, I'm going to bed. But you know what? I should be punished. And when I log in tomorrow, I shouldn't be able to queue for probably 30 minutes.
Okay,
That's
so
how I feel.
you're suggesting they should do that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frank, I like the idea of doing a like exactly what they have for PvP, like a 15 to 30 minute, like you can't go in the queue, and they need to implement this at +10. Like,
okay, so great transition there.
Jesus,
that's what I wanted to
of the
talk
community.
about. Okay, so there's two pieces of
that's where
information
it's the biggest
here. Okay,
problem is after +10, because the only thing on the line is score.
Dude, Roar's doing that shit today. He's like,
We're doing what today?
leaving.
he's dropping groups after our trial right now.
Okay,
I know
okay. All right, slow down. All right, we are wired. Okay,
What the
so
fuck?
two things I want to talk about that you transitioned into.
I'd overspeak Scrap today.
So
I promised
the
him one
first
YouTube
is
response.
the first is let's talk about the levers of Mythic Plus. Okay.
Yes, I want to talk about that.
There obviously, this is where it gets more contentious because there are definitely more merits to why you shouldn't be punished for leaving a group.
Super fuck them, dude.
Okay, so I'm not gonna voice my opinion. Let's start with Shawnee because he's the most cool and level-headed. Shawnee, do you believe there should be a punishment for leaving M+ early? And if you say because it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. Like, what would you think the fair thing to do would be?
So I think if you know you're not going to time it, and you know you're not going to score it, and you've bricked it, or you're like at like quite a brick point, I think it should be something that should be voted on within the key, and there is no punishment if the vote goes in favor of like disbanding or not. Now, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I think if someone just dips, that's not cool. But if someone like initiated a vote and they're like, well, if you don't let me dip, I'm just going to sit here and die and not do anything, or they're going to disconnect anyway. So they're going to leave. So yeah, I think there should be some form of a punishment that is also relatable to like, the fact that it's not going to benefit anybody by actually finishing the key. Now, if it's like we've been in keys and had like a pug with us where say we missed the first boss and they dip, and it's like, well, it was still super timeable, they should be punished more. That would be my like kind of answer.
I would say maybe you only get punished if the timer's still ticking. Like if it's depleted, nobody gets punished.
That's such a good, like, quick automated way to do it. I like that too. I have a good idea too.
Here's. Oh, you want to give your idea first before I
say
counter?
Yeah, of course. So because that's my goal tonight. That's my goal tonight.
Go on then.
When I think, just like you play MOBAs with me, Frank. So when you play MOBAs, like if your team is like severely losing, right? The game is like, hey, do you want to fuck off?
Does Dota have that anymore though? Dota 1 had it, but I don't.
Yeah, no. In Dota, if like you're way behind and you die, like you get a chance as a team to vote if you lose. And maybe Dota doesn't do it, but League definitely does. And I think that's kind of good. Like every time the team completely wipes, maybe everyone gets to say, "Hey, fuck this!" Especially if the timer's over.
Yeah.
The team should be able to vote anonymously, secretly, and say like, "I'm fucking done.
Anonymously is
I'm done.
necessary, I think."
And then when the rolls are over, the dungeon's done. If enough people voted, I think that's the solution there.
Okay, so I want to run with this idea for a second. I want to run with this idea for a second.
And only if it wins the vote.
I'm with Scrap. Let's say it takes 3 out of the 5 to vote to end it, right?
Yeah.
I'm with Scrap, and we're in a pug, and it's just like 3 people that want to get this dungeon done, but us 2 don't, right?
Oh shit, dude.
We start a vote.
vote.
We start a vote, and it's a 2 to 5. A 2 out of 5 vote. We lose the vote. What's the punishment gotta be to be able to stop us from just disconnecting, anyways?
I think a 30-minute no queue is
In-game
fair.
timer?
No,
30 minutes
like,
is nothing in this game because you can
No,
go
but
blacksmith for 30 minutes.
But technique, where I see it being an issue is at like the 21, 22, or 11, 12 zone, where it's like people don't want to waste their time.
You know what the punishment should be, bro?
Technique, let me finish
what it should
my
be?
fucking thought.
should
I'm
have-
gonna jump through the screen and strangle you.
To clear the cooldown, they should have to queue as a tank or a
He
healer.
has never in his life pugged anything above a 21 before, so I don't think he should be able to talk on this.
I got most of my score from pugs, I think, actually.
Okay, but at that level, I don't know. My point is that where you see it, people leaving instantly the second something goes wrong is in the 21, 22, or the 11, 12, I guess, as it stands now. Because it's like they recognize on that first wipe, oh, I'm not getting any points. I'm wasting my time. So the way to punish them, to be like, okay, maybe I should see this out because I have to wait 30 minutes anyway. I might as well see the 30 minutes out of this key, or like see if it's gonna go bad.
Take MMR from them.
Okay, so hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. Technique. Okay. So, any other ideas before we move on to that next?
Wait,
thought?
hold on. I had one thing to say about punishing somebody who's leaving. It's a little hairier than an arena because you do have a dungeon leader, and that person can kick someone, and cause the group to fall apart.
No, I think if they kick, there shouldn't be a punishment.
If you kick somebody, who's getting punished?
No one gets punished. No one gets
everyone's
punished.
Okay, so that seems like that's just what you would do. Like, I'm the group leader, and like we wipe on the first thing, I kick somebody randomly out, and then I don't get punished.
Yeah,
you still have to vote to
seems
kick
like a
in that
loophole.
situation?
No, not nothing close.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Sorry?
maybe change that. I couldn't remember if you had to vote to kick.
You could figure out a loophole to fix that, though, Scrap. Like, I mean, I get what your point is, but
I'm just putting forward a loophole.
I don't think though, because there could be a griefing though, where you it's like this guy, he's not doing enough DPS. I'm gonna make sure he can't run Mythic for another 30 minutes.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that person would be punished, but I think the person who would leave and get the punishment, instead of leaving, they would kick somebody and then forego the punishment. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, like so there has to be something.
There have to be some time to cook on this idea to make it work properly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the vote is good because then you could also do like a vote kick or whatever. But okay, go on with your point. I just wanted to put that out there so somebody in the comments didn't bring it up.
So I don't have the survey. I couldn't find it, but I'm just gonna put this up because this is where they go to do this shit. So every time and again, Blizzard sends out surveys to say like, hey, if we did a classic of Wrath of the Lich King, would you want Dungeon Finder in it? Stuff like that, right? Well, allegedly, there was a survey that went out asking if people would have interest in a solo queue M+ system. All right.
Survey.
So what that means is, Scrap, that you would no longer have to look for a dungeon in the LFR or LFG, right? Mm-hmm. You would just say queue, and it would find, just like heroics and just like normals, it would find a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS and put them together. And you would like say, I want to do a 10, or like I want to do a Siege of Borealis 10, right? Like whatever that may be. And there's obviously some conversation of how that would look. But let's say you're like, I need to get my Siege of Borealis portal, and instead of having to look for a group manually, you just say, I want this key Q, and 18 minutes later you were put into a group with the other 4 players.
I have such a good answer for this.
Where does the key come from?
It doesn't matter, right? Whether it be just generated by Blizzard for you because you guys all queued up for the saying I want to do this key, or maybe like you have to like post your key to say like I'm willing to trade this for whatever, right? Like don't worry about that part. That's not necessarily a concern, because right now you could go into looking for group and find your 10 Siege, right?
Second thing, yeah.
Yep. So like on the one hand, let's just start with that idea. Is that something that you would want to do?
No.
Yes. I do it.
No, I don't.
See, I have the best answer, bro. And I'm gonna have to go back to the relation to Dota. When you queue up for a game in a ranked match, if you're like in dog shit tier, I feel strongly that they fill groups with bots. I feel strongly, and no other point than having played with them because I tier poorly.
I have
So
that
it's-
sense sometimes.
Right, but you queue up for a ranked match, and you got like maybe 4 real players and maybe like 6 fake players, or vice versa. I feel like they could easily, without even telling the player base, they could implement that into WoW, where if you're queuing up for a dungeon, and there's just not enough people playing right now for your level, we're gonna put a bot in that spot, and you might not even fucking know it, because why do we need to tell you? We just want you to get,
especially if it's
into
like
the
a
queue.
+2 and it's like,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
going
it would
smoothly.
certainly be more common in like lower levels, but like at the higher levels, obviously the bots, I think, wouldn't.
You
they
couldn't
should
do it
make
after a certain
so.
point. You couldn't.
I feel like the bot. Well, they could do better than because they're bots, but they should tune it so that the bots are not top tier, but maybe just getting people into the mid tier. In my opinion, I think they could do it and not even tell us.
Okay.
Well,
And it would probably be fine, and no one would give a fuck.
I agree. At the lower levels, it wouldn't be a problem.
at the lower levels, I think it's fine. Like for heroics or even zeros.
And not even
No,
everyone.
like
But-
under
Not
fives,
like just-
I think that'd be okay.
Not even like I go into it knowing I'm going to queue by myself.
wouldn't
but
know.
Just
You
I
wouldn't
queue up, and the group fills with, I don't know, a real tank and 3 bots and me, or vice versa, a bot tank and 3 DPS and me as a healer. You know, it could be just one bot in a whole
Well,
party. Who
okay.
knows?
So there's a problem with this that maybe we need to think about.
I would be surprised if it's not
Anyway.
already happening.
Wait,
like if you have a healer bot, right? And the bot either, like, there's 2 ways it could happen. Like the way they program it is like the bot makes sure no one ever dies. Well, then you're kind of guaranteeing keys, right? But on the
they
flip
still have
side of it,
limitations. I mean, they still have a mana pool. They still have a global cooldown.
So-
It's not like you can just
Yeah, but
make
they're
every
not
mistake on the
getting
planet and still get healed.
so what if they're
not
making
gonna
bad
use
decisions?
Console, though, technique. You know.
Well, then they would lose. I mean,
Yeah, but now I'm being punished.
you're not
Like-
being punished. You made
Anyway.
mistakes.
No,
What do you mean?
the healer's
You
making
don't-
mistakes.
No, the
Okay.
healer shouldn't make mistakes. I'm saying the healer should be good, but also not magical.
can we? Wait,
Okay,
we're
Shawnee.
way
The
circled.
bot- the
We
bot
way
healer, the
circled
bot
off
healer.
from what we're talking about. Would
no,
you
we didn't.
queue? Yeah,
I think
we're
we're on
talking about
topic.
putting bots and stuff. It's just a question of would you queue into it or not. Never on this AI bot thing.
Yeah, the bot
Would you
thing
queue
is
into
kind
it?
of out of left field
Well,
for me.
that's
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
What
Would
do you
you
think
queue
it is,
into
though?
it solo or not?
If you queue into a
Forget
solo
the fives.
game, you're saying
Forget
I
the
want to play
fives.
with 4
Forget.
bots.
Let's say you want a 12 key.
That's relevant.
And it's always human. Let's just it's always human. Would scrap. You want to beat Shawnee and IO, right? What would you rather do? Or no, I don't even ask that. I think you'd rather build the group yourself, right? Like you'd rather do it through the looking for group system.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think it's
But would you also, let's say you could queue alongside
okay.
it?
So to me, like again, you're talking about like arena score sort of thing is how they would
Well,
judge it.
we'll
like,
talk about
you
that.
have
We'll
to
talk
be-
about that in a second. We'll talk about that
Well,
in a second.
I need to be
Okay,
able to
okay,
weigh
fine.
in.
Let's flesh
I
it out.
need
Let's
the
flesh it out.
information to weigh
So
in. Yeah.
there would be an MMR then, right? You'd have to have
and
a
you would
certain
lose
score.
MMR too.
You already
Yes, you'd have
that.
to have
That's
a-
your
Or
your
radar
IO.
area, yeah.
That's your.
No, but like
But
you
you would have
lose
to
score,
be able to lose it. Yeah.
Oh.
You can't just.
which would be a punishment for
They could-
leaving and all
they
that
could-
stuff.
They could do your IO and your what do they do in again? I got to relate it back because
MMR.
it's just good. Well, MMR, but
That's
you
a
also
different
have
kinda
you also
game.
have you have 2 scores. You have a
social
performance
score.
gameplay score and a social score. You have a score. People can say, "Hey, that guy was a dick," or "Hey, that I like
They
that
have
guy."
social
I
score
can-
and
Yeah, no, and
Yeah,
and
it's
it's and
not-
it is
it's not a
lauded as one of the
number.
like best ways to be anti-toxic. Now the problem
It is a
is, does it
number.
work? I don't know.
No, well, Dota's just MOBAs
I've
are just
listened to
toxic
Technique
ass.
Play.
No, I
games.
know, but like they say
But-
that was the step in the right direction to solving that problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has
I
solved the
agree.
problem to a degree. Obviously, I don't think it's squashed it entirely, but that
Well, I've
was
never
like,
been
you know,
banned, so.
something that they said was a good idea. It's not like social score or social credit in China or whatever, but
yeah.
no,
Yeah, at
but
the
like
end of the
let's
match,
say
you
let's
can
say
hey, that guy
yeah,
was good, or hey, that guy was a dick, basically.
but
And
let's just leave that
Yeah.
out for just a second, because like there could
Okay.
obviously be a
Uh-huh.
layer of that.
I think
let's
that'd be a
just
great
say-
thing for Mythic Plus. You end the pug group, and you're like, oh, that guy was cool.
Yeah, no,
That's
again.
it.
So let's say Scrap has she has
Like
3,000
bronze, too,
IO,
man.
right?
What else can
And
I share?
3,000 IO
Technique.
allows her to queue for +12s, right?
Right.
She's now earned that, okay? But if she queues for +12 and it's a shit show, right? She drops down now to 29 to 80, let's just say. And now
Right.
can only queue for 11s, okay? And
But
now
she-
she has to queue for 11s, 3 times or 2
I mean,
times, whatever.
It's similar to what games like League of Legends and stuff do, which I'm
StarCraft
guessing that's
does
the Dota comparison. I've never played Dota before, but it's the same thing,
Dota's just
right?
like League, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
is
say
that like
that.
you don't get to play in gold anymore? Now you have to play in silver, and you have to climb back up to gold.
Correct.
I
So you'd
mean, I
be
can see
guaranteeing
it.
yourself that the people who earn that score. Now, granted, real money transactions could fuck that up, but you know, you're guaranteeing that like you're someone got there one way or another.
The thing I like about Mythic Plus is that the MMR doesn't go down because it again, I'm guessing keys that you did with your friends wouldn't affect your MMR, correct?
I would queue it that way.
because you queue by yourself, or you wouldn't queue by yourself. You'd queue in your own build group.
So I would have a separate
What about
IO
those
score
people that
for
queue as
solo
a
queuing
pair or a
and
trio?
not.
Correct.
I mean, I can. It would be different. I definitely like. Obviously, they've been implementing it in games like League of Legends forever. The reason why I always liked that MMR doesn't go down is because it encourages me to play with people who are lower skill level and like trying to bring them up, right? Because I'm not worried. Like I'll do a 10 technique. I'll do a 10 key with my friends who are learning, because I'm not worried about them depleting it because nothing bad happens. Like if I don't need the key, like I don't have score on the line. I'm happy to help people learn through things that take 2 hours. Because I'm not worried about losing that score. So that's something I like about how Mythic Plus works. If it was completely separate, like if I had an MMR system and then I have to prog both of them, you know?
You wouldn't have to. You could exist in the world you exist in now where you never say it, right? Like it's like saying I could be in an arena team, the 3v3 or whatever, but never engage with solo shuffle.
No, but if you do like 2s and 3s, it's different scores, right, Shawnee?
Yep. That's what we're saying. So
you have to prog both of them.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
You
can't.
You don't have to. I could be just a 3s player.
Yes,
you can, but what I'm saying is that I'd have to spend hours working on my Mythic Plus no MMR going down score, and then also hours working on my MMR that does go down score. Like I couldn't take my 12 key into one or the other.
No, what I'm saying is just like with Conquest, right? Like let's say your Valor Stones and your crests and all that stuff, right? They are awarded to you just based on doing the key flat out, right?
Oh, so my gear, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, all it is that if you want to play by yourself. Right? If you just want to play by yourself and not have to worry about looking for the group. Like, okay, so this is the quality of life I see of it, right? It's that, okay, I do want to do a 12 siege. I'll go look through the system, but there's no 12s, right? There's like 16s and then there's 6s. So there's nothing even in the realm.
If the score I'm pushing is the score I'm pushing with friends, then that 12 wouldn't affect. There'd be 2 different scores.
Yes, there would.
So I couldn't say,
think of it this way. Think of it this way. There'd be a score and then there'd be your ranking.
Right.
Okay. And so the idea
your
is
reputation, maybe.
Yeah, well, sidelight it technique. But the point is this, Scrap, that like you could still get credit for your IO for doing the 12 in that solo queue, right? But you can't queue for the 12 unless you've earned solo queue, I should say. You can't earn for the solo queue. So help me God technique.
He is on one.
You couldn't queue for the solo 12 unless you built up your solo score. You can still do it on your own.
I'm struggling to see me wanting to invest that much into what would effectively be split scoring.
You'd always have the highest score as your IO, let's say, right? So if you built up your score with E-Team and got 3,000, right? But you never engaged with solo shuffle, you might have to do solo shuffle to be able to do 12s in that, just to, kind of earn your reputation, let's say, right?
It's an interesting thought.
But if you did all solo Q12s, right, and you built up your reputation just by doing that and got 3,000 IO, you'd still have 3,000 IO as if you did it by yourself or did it with E-Team.
Yeah, but it would be on a different.
Kind of how it is now.
No, it's not.
Kind of. It's kind. No, it's no. But no. Forget the loss side of it for just a second. It's kind of like that, Scrap. You can do. I know. But you could do E-Team. But you could also say like, hey, it's Tuesday afternoon. I'm home from work sick.
From school.
I want to get Shawnee in that IO contest, right? And you go and pug it. Well, think of it this way: like you could go and look for the group manually, or you could also at the same time, like you could hit Q, and if Blizzard finds a key for you first, you just get automatically ported into it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if
So
you
that's-
still want to manually build it, you can still manually build it.
That's exactly what, like I said, man. It's literally the same thing. You're queuing, and you might fill with 7 out of 10 real player, or 3 out of 5
No,
real
no,
players.
I don't want to talk
but you
about the
might queue
bots.
up.
Oh
No, the bots are so.
What do you think it is if you queue up with a sudden group of 4 bots? That's what it is.
No,
In
you
WoW?
would never see a bot in the Diamond League of StarCraft, or Dota. You would never see a bot at that level.
He's
You
been blaming his
saw
loss
them-
on bots for years.
You're playing.
No, you
you're
saw-
playing at
you s-
bronze level, dude. Like it's okay to see a bot there.
I'm talking. I'm not even that. I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not. I already stated like I'm not great, but
No, I know.
there as
this is
soon
the
as
level
like
we're
AI
talking
came out,
about,
it was what's his name versus what's
Here we
his name,
go.
the big
AI,
mid player. No,
This
the
is
big
not
mid
what
player
we're talking about. This
versus
is,
a bot,
there would not
and he
be AI.
lost.
There would not be AI at the level we're talking about.
Even if the AI beat him one time, right? All it takes is for you to figure out how to get that AI's algorithm off wonk, and then you beat it, and you beat it every single time.
I don't want to talk about the AI.
That's a
algorithm.
really
All right.
degenerate thing to say.
Okay.
I
You want to see how bad
if
AI is, Technique?
No.
If
no,
you ask
no,
ChatGPT
foot
how
down
many
on
letters
the
are in the word
ChatGPT.
banana, it won't be able to tell you because that's
you
how
chose
AI
a
is built.
confusing fucking word, though,
No.
dude.
Frank,
You could have said like apple, but you
It's
said
just
banana.
confusing word.
Okay. Are we ready to move on to the
Doesn't
next
have anything
topic?
to do-
Yes, move on,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
Do you-
Move
do
on
you-
to
let
my
me
pillow.
put
Wait.
a cap on it. I
Yeah,
think it's
I
an
wanna-
interesting
I wanna hear.
topic. I would have said at face when you pitched it to me at first, I would have said no. But then I'm thinking about these examples of like in League of Legends and stuff and matchmaking
Dude.
games. It does work. So
It absolutely
maybe
happens.
it would work.
And
I'm
clearly
not
I
they
talking
think
have
it would work.
follower
I'm not
dungeons.
talking
I think it would
about
work, Scrap.
bots.
I think it would work,
Jesus
Scrap.
Christ, I'm not talking about the bots.
You
I'm
talking
talking
about
about MMR being attached to Mythic
It-
Plus rating.
I'll tell you,
yes,
my
I'm
quick
interested
answer to
in
that is introduce it. Go ahead. It'll become toxic as fuck super
It's
quick.
already
dude.
Maybe.
toxic as
Yeah,
fuck.
it's already
Yeah.
toxic. Though.
It's
Yeah.
literally it's IO. That's it.
Okay.
It's the same. thing.
Shawnee, would you do it? You said yes.
Yeah, for sure I would.
Technique, would you do
Why
it?
not?
Sorry, what's the question?
Would you do
Oh my God,
the
just skip him.
single queue?
Nah, fuck no, man. I got too many friends for that.
Okay, I'd love to see that feature. Okay, let's talk about the anniversary event starting, which according to Wowhead will start October 22nd. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm going to try to list off everything that's in this, but there are so many little things that I'm going to miss.
Wait, is that
okay?
Plunderstorm?
This
no,
is the
already
roadmap.
happened.
This is the roadmap from this year, Scrap.
I didn't
Relax.
answer that last time we looked
Every-
at this.
yes, you did.
Fucking
Every
hell.
time we see
you
the map, you're like,
Every
is that
time.
Plunderstorm?
Can you
And-
crop
and
in
it
on just the part
It
that
doesn't
hasn't
even
happened
say
yet, please?
Plunderstorm. It just
No,
has
I
a
see the
skull.
skull.
You
Can you just zoom in on the
you
relevant part? please?
stupid asshole.
I say that every time.
Okay.
It's getting really fucking late.
So
here.
it is.
We're
So
fine.
here's what we got. Okay. There's supposed to be I'm gonna say a revamped raid. Okay, I'm gonna pull up that picture real quick. A new Black Rock Depths raid. Okay, I think there's
Molten
8
Core?
bosses in it. 7 bosses. No, 8
just
bosses in
Black
it.
Rock
Okay. This is supposed to be. I mean, so it's in looking for raid, normal, and heroic. No mythic. Okay. This is supposed to give gear that will be on level with the current gear sets we see right now. So I assume what we're looking at right now is looking for raid.
Hopefully, there's not some trinket that like you have to get from this stupid event.
Well, okay. So let's
That'd
put it.
piss me off.
Let's hold here for a second. Do you think it's a good
Hold.
idea to have this like fun, not required raid in the middle of the season?
No,
Well, I mean,
I think it's something you should do off season.
What is
off
off-season?
season?
Off season is season 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but you'd miss the 20th anniversary for this.
You know, what, I
that
think
happens once
later,
every 20 years, man. I mean, Jesus.
Frank, I would put this late season, not when people are still progging AOTC. Most people are progging AOTC.
Okay.
You know, like, cause I do worry that it's like, okay, we're all trying to get gear and shit like that. It's like it encourages people to do 2 raids a week, which is rough for people like us with jobs and kids and shit.
Yeah, but do you think we're going to be like at this point we'll have
Do you have any of
AOTC,
Well,
right?
you know, in late season, yeah, I was gonna say if it's late season, like after we get AOTC, and I think it's similar for a
It's
lot
going
of
to be
guilds.
7 weeks. 7 weeks into the season.
7 weeks. That doesn't seem like a lot to me.
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
we'll-
7 weeks is around when
we
we get
cleared
AOTC.
we cleared our raids usually within 5 weeks.
That's not true. The's no way that's true.
I'm with Scrap.
It feels like way longer.
We'll check it out
than
real
that.
quick. Let's check real quick.
Yeah, check real quick. But I'm pretty sure it's around 7.
Just
7
look up
weeks.
yourself, Frank.
Yeah, I know.
Look up yourself. Don't dox
Yeah, yourself. Yeah. What's that password just put in?
I didn't put in the password.
Don't look at season 4. Look at season 1.
Yeah, season 1, 2, 3. How long did it take us to clear?
I'm in season 3 right now, but okay. We killed it January 9th.
When did the season start?
Did Amir Drasil?
We killed, but Farak was our quickest kill.
Launch.
Over
from 14th. So that is 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
6 weeks, but that was also our quickest. Like the other 2 took longer.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Well, you don't know about that. You're getting rid of the evidence, you fucker.
Anyways, we are not that great, right? So, like, you know,
right?
I mean, I think the people that are still progressing AOTC at this point are probably not that many people who would be okay with not getting AOTC, right?
Right.
And not to say, like, it might be exciting to have a second raid to help gear up the rest of the team if that's still a problem for you in that AOTC window. But anyways, I love this. Like, we've talked about this. Like, where's the content?
I love this.
And we have a raid. We have a 8-boss raid that hopefully will be difficult to a degree.
I love this.
Right?
I just wouldn't want it to derail if we're like progging AOTC. Like, think about like how fucked we felt when we were like progging Sylvanas. We'd take any excuse to quit, and it's like right on the edge of victory, we quit, you know. And it's like I would hate to see that this new shiny raid comes out. Nobody wants to prog. I don't even know who the last boss.
This will last. This will last.
I was just gonna say it lasts
2
like
months,
the rest
3
of
months?
the season.
What did I just?
I think it was a really long time.
It's like January 4th, so it goes for a full 2 months plus, so 2.5 months. Right?
I really like this. Having like 2 raids per season would be hype. If
that's not going to be the norm. They're not going to continue this.
Why not?
This is a special event.
Same raid, just different challenges. Yeah.
Techniques like Baden now.
What are you? Okay, let's keep moving. Raid good, right? This is obviously really good in my opinion. Okay.
Content good. We love content.
On top of that, they're bringing back Timewalking. I don't know if I don't have it. Okay, I don't know which dungeons were time walked.
Hey, there's the Monty Warbear technique. I can have one now.
No, you can't.
All right, so
it's a little different.
They're bringing back time walking dungeons for Classic. Okay, the Dead Mines, Zul'Farrak.
Wait, hold on. There's no Wailing Caverns.
No, this was what I wanted to talk to you about.
No.
So, Dead Mines, Zul'Farrak, Dire Maul in 2 separate wings, and Stratholme in 2 separate
I like
wings.
Dead Mine.
So 6 total dungeons. Dire Maul is going to be redone apparently.
At 0, Mythic 0, or just
no time walking. So it's not.
Sorry, yeah.
But this does set them up though to bring those 6 dungeons back for Mythic 0 because they will clean them up.
Hype.
Right.
Yes.
So that's
You're saving
cool,
Wailing Caverns for a raid, I think.
So that's really cool.
It'd be so sick if they did. I'm with you there.
There's going to be in the anniversary event, we'll also include some significant changes for Paladin Hunter. You said this earlier, Scrap, about survival. Shamans are getting a look at. Speaking of which, let's take a real quick look. Have you seen this yet, Scrap? The new Shaman Ascendance model?
No, I don't. What
that looks cool.
I don't even know what Ascendance is.
Look at that, dude.
So Shamans have it's their major cooldown, right?
It's like
what is this, like Dragon Ball?
This is what they turn into when they use their debuff.
Is this a meme?
This is like Dragon Ball guy. I don't know.
Everyone complained that they had the same like model for when they use Ascendance for like 10 plus years, and so they finally gave him a new model. So you got one for enhancement.
Like I feel like it doesn't fit in with Shaman.
It's kind of like a voodoo doctor, like that witch doctor kind of thing. I thought
we got it again.
I get that. It doesn't quite fit the shaman earth tree hugging, vibe.
Shaman aesthetic is kind of off, but
it does go way more witch doctor.
Witch doctor, yeah.
I feel the witch doctor side, but
it's got paws, I guess. That's kind of shaman-y.
So that's kind of cool, but the community hates it, by the way. So there's no surprise
they
there.
hate it. I don't care. I don't have a dog in that fight, but I mean, can you turn it off? Can you decide not to do it? Like how balanced drones don't have to be boomies?
Like, is it a transmog?
No.
They can't turn it off. I would be very annoyed If I had a big uplief form suddenly
Okay.
associated with a move that I had to press all the time, that would
They should
that
make
would
it
be
one
annoying
of
to me.
those. Don't you get like a missive or something for your
Inscriptions,
Some of your
yeah.
really inscriptions. Yeah, they
Yeah,
should make
that's
one of
what-
those and be done.
They should. Yeah, they should.
Okay.
Leave it out.
Dracthyrs are getting new classes. Okay, so let's talk
Cute,
about this
love
real
it.
quick. Tail Swipe and Wing Buffet were apparently really good CCs, right? And I'm not apparently they are. Have been buffed to nerfed to 3-minute cooldowns instead of 1.5 minutes. I still feel like these are still really strong.
Yeah, still really powerful.
still
They
big-
should have gotten rid of one of them and made it evoker specific, and then
Compared
just
to
the other
like
one as a racial.
you turn red and do more pet damage. Yeah, it's really strong.
This is a racial fucking. This is a
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
racial
It's
ability.
way better than a lot of other racial abilities.
What racial has
Who
turn
turns
red?
red?
Orcs do
Yeah.
increase pet damage. Okay, and turn red.
Increase pet
Is that
damage?
part of their lore?
That's part of their race abilities. Are you alliance
Increase
or what?
Pet
I thought they.
damage?
Okay.
Orcs
I don't have.
increased
I know they have
damage,
berserk, but
and orcs
like,
have berserk. That's their thing.
I know berserk.
But
I
does
didn't know
berserk
increase pet damage.
pet damage?
No, that's their passive.
Oh.
It's probably like 1% though, right?
That's why you see so many orc warlocks, bro.
Okay.
And hunters.
This is news to me. All right.
This is a more significant
But
one.
that's not what I'm so much worried
life.
about. That's not what I'm so much worried about. I'm more worried, or not even worried, but like let's get your opinions. Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Mage, Warrior, and Warlock will all be available to the Dracthyr, and they can also cast in their
Visage form.
Yeah, Visage form. That's it, right? Which evokers cannot do that. Priests are getting a unique shadow form for their dragon form, which looks
cool.
really
I want to
good.
see that. Oh, show it.
I might have it somewhere. Oh, don't make me look for it.
I can make you. I want to see the dragon.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
If I could opt out of dragon form, I'd switch to dragon warrior today.
Well, you can, so get ready for that.
Yeah, then you don't have to
Can I be a
complain about
Tauren
your.
dragon, or do I look like a human?
Someone watch while I'm going because I'm scanning really
elf?
quickly at the picture.
Then,
Oh,
then
like
you
an
can't
elf.
complain, Technique, about not having enough CCs because you'll have the extra CCs for being a Dracthyr.
I already have charge stomp. Cow charge.
There we
I'm
go.
sorry,
That's
were you not
always fun.
bitching like
There
an
we go.
hour ago about not having enough CCs? Oh, that looks cool.
No,
Right, so this is their shadow form.
Let's see it. Oh,
Looks
it's
like a
so
dragon that's
cool.
purple. What do you mean?
Right.
What? It's fucking awesome, Technique.
Anyways, okay.
You hate whimsy?
So, so you're saying that was my question to you. It was Technique. Are you
What
going
was
to
the question?
switch?
No, man, I don't want to look like an elf again. I'm a Tauren now, so that's I get it. They're probably going to be a lot of fun to play, but I wouldn't. Aesthetically, I couldn't look at myself and
The number one
log in
reason why
again.
people are worried about this is because glide, which allows you to double jump and float.
it's gonna
Apparently-
bug out and make shit like fucking. What's the word when you can't target them? Evade. It's gonna make shit evade. It's gonna be
What? It
buggy as
doesn't
fuck.
do that.
It doesn't
They-
do that
they've
with
been using-
evokers.
yeah,
What are you
they-
talking about?
Yeah,
They're not
evokers already
tanks,
have this
dude.
ability.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Demon hunters are, and they
It's
have the same
different when
ability.
everything's
But
targeted.
Yeah,
anyways,
demon hunters have double jump and glide.
But anyways, what it's saying though is that kind of movement is like and this is Dratnos' number. I don't know if it's actually accurate, but 40% faster movement as a result, right?
Yeah.
So
I
like
want
that could be a huge buff, but maybe they deal with that another way. But anyways, Scrap, are you going to change your hunter or no?
No, I mean all my characters I play are like characters, so I mean
No,
I don't
yeah, you have
change
your
my
RP.
She'd
races.
like make another hunter.
Yeah. No, I would have to
This
make
one's
another
named like
one.
Bouncy Scrap.
All right. They
Yeah.
also are going to continue work on the talent trees, starting with, and this is, one of the examples of a visual update as well, with Dark Rangers getting some updated, was that the old one? I guess this is the new one then. Right. No, it's not. What was it that looked really cool? This is?
Oh, it's like Sylvanas.
Yeah, right. So they're getting visual updates. Now, this is what I wanted to stop on just for a second, because I don't really care about Dark Ranger. I don't think you care, Scrap.
I don't
People
have
do
access
care, though.
to it.
People do care though, right? Like it's
Right.
it was supposed to be a huge thematic thing, but it kind of excites me that they might be still working on the visualization of town trees.
Absolutely.
Shawnee, do you want more out of your paladin one? You just rain
Plain
fire
Templar.
hammers from the.
I love that in Templar it's not passive, so I get to see this giant hammer thing go off. I'd never say no to the idea of more like the spell effects and stuff. I super enjoy that part of being a paladin. So The more, the better, I'd say.
Well, and one thing that always stood out to me from Paladins, and I never heard the official answer, but from what I could tell, they said it was just too graphically intensive. But back in, I think it was Legion, they were testing a new consecration ground effect for Paladins, and they scrapped it, and it broke my heart because I hate the look of it. Like, consecration just looks like it's from classic WoW. It looks so off. But they are doing some things where it looks like they're maybe addressing some of the spell effects, and I was hoping we'd see that. It doesn't look like that, but you know.
Yeah, if they gave consecration went down, and you could see like little flames or something coming off the ground, like holy.
They had
flames.
one in the Chromie dungeon, like a cool consecrate effect. Remember that?
It looks even better. Well, I don't know.
Well,
quick question
yeah, I don't
for the
know why
host,
they
Frank.
that.
Let me see if they have a picture of the. No.
Quick question for the host, Frank.
Yes, babe.
You get what?
Yes, babe.
Okay, so
there it is.
You
right
know
here.
how in Dota, how all these what do they call the transmogs in Dota that are like super sick? That are the what do they call? They're like $35 a pop, and people pay for them.
The skins?
No, the ones that are like the elite skins, like the hardcore.
Oh, the
skin. Yeah, the ones that only pop out like once a month, or whatever. Yeah. Well, I forget what they're called, but
Arcanas.
Dude, why not bring Arcanas? So like, dude, bring back. I would pay money for like to theme my Prot Warrior as like a fire thunderclap or whatever. You know what I mean? Like transmog my spells.
This is a PoE thing, right?
And they already have it with inscription. Well, yeah, but it's limited. You like either have it or you don't. It's not like you have a bunch of choices.
They really haven't added a lot of
and I think they could. I think they could also
because they work themselves into a corner.
I think they could not only lean into it, but also like monetize it. And I wouldn't mind a fucking minute putting a couple extra bucks every month into. I want to theme my warrior into a fire version or something.
And so again, PoE is like the gold standard of this because you can change all the looks of your spells by buying the cosmetics of them, right? Yeah. I would say that the reason that they probably don't do this is because they'd have to like trickle it in very, very slowly to not overwhelm us with all sorts of new spell effects. It'd have to be very slow, but one as part of the trading post every month would be awesome too, right?
But I do feel like
just like in the other games, man.
No, but I do feel like you can't go too crazy with it because like in PvP, it's like you're relying on seeing what people are doing and knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like so it would get
maybe you
confusing
disable
really
it
fast.
in PvP then.
Okay, but I paid $35. Why are you disabling it in the thing I play?
Well, it's a clear. It would be clear up front, I think, in that case.
Speaking of updated visuals.
No, wait, don't move on before I can't complain about mine.
Okay. Well, what do you want to complain? I'm sorry.
Because I've been wanting to complain about this for weeks. Yeah, so I have this big stupid fucking circle as my hero talent. I don't like either of my hero talents. They both suck ass. I didn't know this because I didn't play the beta, so I didn't get to give feedback. But my hero talent that does a fuckload of damage, all of the damage is in this stupid fucking circle. And the thing about this circle is that nobody can see it but me. No, is that nobody can see it but me. So I'm being really careful. I'm putting it down where the tank I think is going to be, and the tank just scoots out of it. And it's not the tank's fault really, because unlike every other ground effect in the game that tanks have to leave shit in, they can't see mine. So can we fix that before we?
I agree with that. I should see it like I see Death and Decay, which I also I don't think I see that either.
Absolutely no reason that tanks can't see the circle that like literally like 50% of my DPS comes out of, which is so fucking stupid. Like, can we fix that before we add more shadow effects to?
There's a good possibility that they will fix it. Okay. Sorry. Let's take a little question here though. So for example, there's some things that they're changing for like Paladin or a Hunter or whatever, right? And what it kind of sends the message though of is that, okay, Paladins, well, you're not going to get anything changed on your tuning until October 22nd or whatever it is. Yeah, October 22nd.
Yeah, you're right.
Which could cause like this moment of like, oh, well, shit. Like, because, they didn't just do reworks of classes. Like Arcane Mage has some tuning in it. And so the question is like, well, hold on a second. Am I not getting tuning until then, or why are you even making tuning? Because things could be wildly different in the next 3 weeks. So there's obviously a question about that too. It's chaotic, and I think they probably announced this earlier than they wanted to because of the 20th anniversary event. But
yeah.
Okay. What really got everyone absolutely wild though speaking of updated visuals, was the tier 2 sets.
Oh, I'm wild about this. These look fantastic.
So you've seen these already?
Yeah, I fucking seen them. They look awesome. And I love the new ones.
Yes,
I love
the new ones
Death
look
Knight
great.
and the Demon Hunter and stuff. Like, they really understand,
monk
especially
one?
the Death Knight one. The monk one, I'm not
aside
crazy
from the
about monk
toenails, they
aesthetics.
look good.
I don't know about this one. This one looks
I mean, it looks
they
like
got-
DH, you know?
Druid, of course. I guess I can just
Someone in their feet department has done great this season so far. We have great
Why? 'Cause you have
toenails
toes?
on
Yeah,
our
look at
monks.
those paws on that one. That's Evoker, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Evoker.
Yeah.
There's the
That's
Hunter set.
Yeah.
Hideous.
Of course, it's an iconic set. It is hideous.
iconic,
All
but it's
these sets
hideous.
are hideous.
No, well, the water
Paladin
orbs on the
This
Mage.
looks so
I don't-
ugly.
Yeah.
No,
Paladin one
I hope
looks
that's
great.
just like a
The
low
Paladin
shot.
one is like
I'm
the
super down
iconic
with the
one.
Nether
Look how
Mage.
good this one looks.
Yeah,
Looks like a Ninja Turtle. I like
It
it.
does.
Looks
Yeah, it does
so
look like a turtle.
good.
You
It
know me,
looks
I'm not
really
crazy
good.
about the paws
Except
on
go to the
everything,
feet,
but...
though. Go to the
Hold on,
feet,
let's see.
yeah.
Can I still? No, it's still just as big. Never mind. Sorry, guys at home.
Everyone's got toenails, man. Huge ones.
Yeah,
Except
look at
for
these
mages.
yeah, the paws are a little bit wild,
no,
but the
but this looks
dragons like
so
on the
good.
gloves and stuff is so fucking
So
cool.
good.
Go to
The hat's
Warrior.
awesome.
Did they make? So I'm super
Paladin's
happy.
awesome.
Look at the Paladin one. Sick. No,
So good.
Paladin. They
The
don't have any
Warrior one's
robe,
still ugly, but it's
Paladin
iconic.
transmogs.
Priest.
Bloodfang? Ugly? Are you
Priest.
dumb?
Dude, it's
You're
so
wrong.
ugly.
Is the priest? What's going on with the
Not
priest's
just-
ear here? Right here? Is that?
He's
are
got,
they
I think
wearing
it's just
ears?
glowing.
He's got
No,
a
I think
fucking
it's
big
just-
ear, dude. Who cares?
Rogue,
I loved
simple,
Bloodfang.
simple, but effective.
This is
It's
good
made of
shit.
leather. I loved it.
Shaman.
Shaman, yeah.
Ugh.
I think they did a great job with
But
that.
at least
No,
it added
it's
some good spell
fine.
effects.
Yeah.
Looks a little
Warlock.
Power Rangers to me.
Again, kind of
Great.
traditional.
Yeah.
Compared to what we got
We
now,
gotta
that
get
ain't
Warrior.
shit.
Dude, it does not look good tech. He looks so bad.
He's super sick. What are you
The
talking
one
about?
thing I wish they
It is
did,
iconic.
and there's
I
still
lo-
rumors
it's-
they might,
What I
is
love
that I
about
wish
it
they
is
did
that
recolors.
It screams classic. It screams.
Yeah, I like the
classic.
Hunter one too, even though it's fucking crazy ugly. But I will wear it.
Yeah.
Okay. We are definitely doing 2 episodes. I'm gonna
I mean, you're
kind of
splitting it. Let's hit
Yeah,
the
that's
next
right.
topic.
no.
Let's
We
just
only
do
have one
the
more
third,
topic.
The third episode. Fuck it.
So we have a question of the week. This one comes from Super Soaker. Okay.
Oh,
Valor
yeah.
stones are
That
bullshit.
guy.
2 currencies aren't needed. True or true?
Valor
So
Easily
stones
true.
and like crests.
So
are the two
let's
currencies talking about?
explain what this question's asking of us, right? So
Yeah,
there's
what's the
Valor
question
stones.
part?
The Valor stones we earn from doing almost everything in game, whereas the crests, which is the second currency he's referring to, are there to denote what level of difficulty we did on that, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so you can get a 2,000 Valor stones capped. You can get them unlimited, but they cap it. You have to spend them after 2,000. So you can bring that number back down. Whereas crests can only be earned a certain amount every week. The cap does go up so that if you ever fall behind, you can try to get back caught up. So that's just the system. Now, Technique, I think you already formed your opinion. So what was your opinion? You said no?
I think one. So it really truly doesn't matter because if you think about it, you have currently 2 currencies. You have coins and you have dollar bills, right? And right now
That's not a good
coins
analogy, but okay.
No, because those do not.
It
They don't.
is.
You can't exchange them.
But you can because everything you do to earn
Well, you
Valor stones
can't.
also earn you the other crests. So
Mhm.
anyway,
No.
you either
no.
farm a shit ton of Valor stones and some crests, or you farm a shit ton of Valor crests and some stones. Is
What
the
is he
thing
just
right now.
completely misunderstanding what these
No.
2 currencies are?
No, but you haven't listened, is what the problem is so far.
Can you? Am I wrong? What is he talking
Johnny, the Bills
about?
going to win this week?
My question,
What is
my
bro?
point is,
hope so.
it doesn't matter if they give us 1 currency or 2. They're gonna
That's
curve
not
it
the
how they want.
question.
The question
Okay.
is, do they need 2
Technique is
currencies?
answered. I don't have the energy anymore. Scrap. What's your answer?
I like the 2 different currencies because so here I'll tell you what my issue with the 2 currencies is that when you're spending crests like later in the season where I'm like only spending crests, I still need Valor stones.
The reason
And
they do
there's
this is to make you do more than just the content you want to do.
Chill. Well,
That's
that's
why
what
you
my
do 2
complaint
currencies.
is.
That's not why they do it, but okay.
No, that's not why they do it. I understand the reason for Valor Stones, and the reason for Crest. I think they're 2 different currencies. They serve 2 different purposes. Same goal, right? Upgrade your gear. The part that I'm annoyed with is that I still need Valor Stones later in the season when I'm not getting them like actively.
Because you're not raiding as much, you're not M+ing as much.
Because I'm not raiding or whatever the hell. I love the system of like where I've already upgraded a ring and I get another ring. I don't have to pay the crests anymore. I just pay the Valor Stones. So I like that there's Valor Stones there because it's like, okay, I do have to have something. But I feel like, especially in like season 3 of Dragonflight, and definitely 4 because I wasn't doing anything, I was constantly running out of fucking Valor Stones. That was pissing me off. Because like, okay, how do I get Valor Stones? It's like, oh, I can get 30 from this world quest. It's like, that is not enough to do anything, right?
The world quests do give a lot more than they used to, though.
Yeah. I love it.
They still give 30,
right
but there's a
now.
lot more they're giving Valorstone.
For sure. I love it right now where I have a ton of them, and I don't have to worry about spending them because they're unlimited. I can just keep getting more and more and more. And it's like however much you put in is however much you get out, right? So I like that there's something that I could endlessly farm if I wanted to, as opposed to crest where you are capped. That's how you answer a question.
Part of the reason why I scrapped that you're not getting Valor Stones in season 3 though is because you're also not doing the campaign as you would have in season 1.
Exactly. And I think they need to like put Valor Stones into like more gameplay loop, I guess. I don't know.
So where it's at right now is fine because we've done so much campaign that we've gotten a plethora.
Great. It's perfect.
But in
for right
season
now.
3, despite the fact that they will have a campaign like they have, an end-game campaign like they did now.
They need to take down the cost of Valor Stones, or like World Quest give more or something in later seasons.
And I mean, like, it's a fair assessment of it.
I don't want to do easy shit if I'm like
content.
pushing 20s like at the second week of the season, because I can just say, oh, 3k IO, let me in your group, even if it's a lie. Like I'm not getting the Valor Stones I need baseline.
Okay. Shawnee.
Yeah, it's a really complex question, actually, because if you go to one currency, there are people that say it would make it unfair because like people will just grind that one currency to constantly upgrade. I understand that side of it, and the part of me is like, well, if you want to work if you want to work more than me to grind it to get more of it, then go to town. In a way,
either have more time or more skill. Yeah.
So I don't overall care, but gun to my head, if I had to choose, I would take one currency. Because like there are like a bunch of different quests.
Which would you lean towards, the uncapped or the capped?
I would lean towards uncapped, even. Because like for me currently, I wish, like doing professions, I wish I could earn the skill points at an uncapped rate somehow. I hate like being like doing my profession and they're like, this is as many skill points as you can earn this week. I'm okay with earning more because I want to complete it. Like uncapped.
Do you even find yourself, like, I know for me, there, like, especially in season 1, I'm like playing a ton. Like I'm hitting that aspect crests or whatever the fuck the new one's called, cap. But like in later seasons, I'm really not. Like I'm not playing enough. Like the caps are quite high.
Yeah, but that's the punishment for not playing as much.
I don't know, but what I'm saying is that like the caps are just to stop people from completely fucking running away with it. I think the average person isn't hitting the cap weekly.
You mean the crest cap, not the Valor Stones?
Yeah, the crest cap.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said, the aspect crest or whatever.
The crest cap exists because of the race to world first, mostly, right?
And to keep us playing the whole season.
Well, yes, that too. Sure.
Yeah.
But what the reason why they like trickle it, right, is because they don't want everyone to get their full gear right away and then be unhappy that there isn't something to work towards, right? It's the idea of like, I don't want to be able to get my entire purple set in classic right away, right? Like I want to be able to raid and keep getting it, right?
What I was saying, Frank, is that I feel like unless I'm mega sweating, I'm not really hitting that cap just by doing slightly above casual play. So I think the cap isn't a good place.
Is in a good place?
I think it is in a good place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, overall, I don't super care, but if I had to make a choice, I would be like, uncap it and give me one currency.
Well, but here's the reason why these two exist, right? So Valor Stones are there to reward you for playing the game, right? But Valor Stones can't do the job enough because then otherwise, if you're just getting, like, let's say I got 20 Valor Stones for doing a dungeon, no matter what it be, +2 or +10, but I needed 2 million to upgrade my gear at a +10 level. I would still be able to have the ability to do +2s count like endlessly, and upgrade my gear when I should be doing +10s to upgrade that gear. So they implemented the crest system
it's
to
like
say
Shadowlands. Yeah.
it's a gate to say you can't upgrade to the +10 system unless you are doing +10s, right? And that's why that exists. I fully support that. I think that the gearing system is in the best place it's ever been. Because like Valor Stones are just Valor, and Valor is like one of the best systems we had for gearing in the past. But the one flaw in the system, and it's not even a flaw, it's just like they need to take the step and just go ahead and allow it, is you said it yourself, Scrap, like season 1 or even in season 3 when I was playing a lot, like I had a ton of crests left over on my main.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And then I want to play my alt. I totally agree there should be a tax to it though, right? I shouldn't be able just to freely
even if it was like a 50% tax, I'd take it because I literally have like 200 in my fucking pack at the end of the season. Yeah, they should do that, especially, and I wouldn't mind them even gating it, like saying like, hey, the first 4 weeks, like you can't.
Yeah.
Like, and then
because
like
there might be some degeneracy there,
or like every week there's a higher, like the rate gets better. Like it's like, okay, this week it's a 50%, next week it's a 60%, the week after it's a 70%, and then there's a point where you can just transfer them straight up, like would be cool. So that prepping for a new season, you could just like switch mains really easily.
And that's the other thing too, because there's also a flaw in the system, even if it's not an alt or main conversation. Scrap, let's say you come into season 3, 4 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
You're still only getting the 12 crests per run. But you need 200 of them.
My cap's super high though, so I can slam.
I know. But you have to slam, right?
Yeah, I would slam.
Like instead, can you do 30 dungeons in a week?
Girl, I could do anything.
Okay, well then she's happy with that.
No, I think it's in a good place. I think this is
the best gearing model we've ever seen in.
We've had this conversation before.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I was like, wait, no, I think I liked the Shadowlands Valor system better. But the more we talked about it, the more I was like, okay, the crests really work so well.
Yeah.
The only thing that's annoying about it is that it's like not super intuitive, I guess, where it's like champion is better than veteran. And then I don't even know what's after that. Hero. Yeah, please.
Just fucking give me more or less, dude.
To me,
just give me 15 instead of 5. I don't need a different item. Goddamn.
Yeah, and that when one thing
no,
is like
that's the problem, Technique. You do need a different item.
No, you don't.
Technique is having a different discussion completely. I don't even know. The thing that I have an issue with is that I always
literally
think
explained why they need a different item, and you're saying they don't need it.
But no, you were wrong though. That's all.
So you're okay with people grinding millions of +2s to get their best in slot gear at a mythic level?
Yes, because
didn't you say you want
a lot more?
Sure,
they should be like better 3 times. Like I should have to do like 3 to 4 dungeons.
No, it should be more than that.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what they should scale, not like.
But didn't you say you want exclusivity to your
It's
gear?
not exclusive. It looks the fucking same.
No, okay, so you only care about the look. You don't care about the power.
No, and it's also not even a different item. You're talking about the 580 version versus the 589 version.
No, I'm talking. Oh my god, you fundamentally don't understand this. If I can grind +2s and turn that item into a +10 version of it, that is like a 30 item level difference.
Okay, but you have to do it. You have to literally be the neckbeard that sits there all day and does +2s.
Have you played World of Warcraft
all day?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I do 2 +50s or whatever the fuck, and I'm good.
Okay,
that's what it should be.
So to answer the question from Soaker, this is the best it's ever been. There's one.
What was the question?
Yeah,
why do Valorcrests exist? The reason why Valorcrests suck right now is because people are racing to upgrade their gear, and that's the one thing I want to point out. We are gearing up faster than we ever have, right? Is that a consensus?
The delves are just throwing gear at you. Oh my god!
Well, the bountiful are.
Well, yeah, but like I can't believe the level of gear.
It has its limit.
I got a 610 piece from.
Actually, that is a problem I have right now because apparently no one's doing M0s because of bountiful delves being so good. Now that will change next week, and it's just a 1 week problem. But I still have a problem.
Here's the thing: is that you do a bountiful delve, it takes you 30 minutes, and you get 1 gear roll, and you do a M0, you might get 4 gear rolls or 0. So
if you do a bountiful delve by yourself, you're definitely getting.
How would you get a 4 gear? Oh, M0. Oh, okay.
Yeah, M0. Like you get rolls from each boss. So it feels a little bit
Have
more
you
fun
ever
to
done an
me.
M0 where you've gotten 4 loots?
I got two out of one
2 is
earlier.
okay. It's a proc.
But yeah, exactly. It's a proc. But and then I got 0 out of another one. But it's still kind of like it's quick. You know, you only have so many bountiful keys. I could do M0 forever. Like
yeah. Okay.
I can't. I haven't been able to.
Well,
do
actually, you
8 in a
can't. You can
day.
only do. Yeah, I was gonna say you can only do.
I know, but like, who the fuck has the time of a full-time job?
Apparently, Technique, because
every
he's
day.
got sweaty people doing +2s 50 times a day.
He's already doing +2s. He must be sweaty.
Okay.
I'm doing +2s.
I'm going to go
doing
ahead and
+2s.
quickly say how you should go to mythicdungeonleague.com. Check out our website where you can find.
What about Keystone
I'm
Kindergarten?
going to get to it. Our
Oh my
podcasts and our
God.
episodes. Twitter @LeagueMythic. Twitch.tv/MDL You'll see us right there. Not next week, though, or I should say this week, because that's when the episode comes up, because I'll be on vacation. And you can go to youtube.com and see our Keystone Kindergarten playlist, where you will learn how to play 5 of the 8 dungeons someone got on my case about. I shouldn't say got on my case. They were very polite. They were upset that I didn't do all 8 dungeons. Guys, I have a job. Like, it took, you 3 can speak to this. It took a ton of fucking time to do those 5.
Dude, Frank is a perfectionist. It takes him forever to do anything.
Because I'd focus on that instead. That's what he said.
Yeah, Frank, you know, if you didn't take vacation all the time, you could have had the other 3 dungeons.
I won't have any more vacation planned for at least a year.
I say you won't have any vacation time for the next 100 years, the amount of vacation you're taking
Makes
now.
me sad. All right, I'm not even gonna give you guys a chance for final thoughts, because this is 2 episodes worth of content. Shawnee, final thoughts.
You know what? Even though I'm a heel now, I still love you guys. That's my final thought.
Okay, I love you
I
too.
wish you'd heal me.
Scrap.
No, I'm like a heels.
No,
I'm very
don't
much in the no thoughts, head empty phase of like I want people to understand. Even split this into 2 episodes.
Yep.
We've been going for like 3 hours, and Technique has gotten so unhinged.
he's not even like he's like lucid right now.
I'm doing delves right now, bro. I gotta.
He's doing delves right
Which actually
now.
might be best for the podcast, because you kind of stop paying attention to us.
Yeah, it tones him down.
All right, Technique, last thought.
I don't have any initial thoughts, let alone last thoughts, Frank. But no, honestly, man, I'm actually
that's
I'm
like the
doing
worst.
all right.
That's a bigger lie than I've seen on the debate stage this week.
That's last thoughts. Wouldn't you need? No,
I didn't have first thoughts, buddy.
no, man, this has been a great 2 episodes. Apparently, I had a wonderful steak.
Yeah, 3 with this exit.
Back to the steak.
And
watch us on Raid.
Honestly,
on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/TechniqueTV.
Yeah, you need to stream.
Thanks for subscribing and liking.
Oh, well, I'll talk about this after the podcast. All right, everyone. It's been a long one. It's been a 2-parter. We'll release this in 2 parts throughout the week while I'm gone. When we come back, we'll have a ton of things to talk about. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Take care.
That second episode is going to be unwatchable.